The 2018 IIHF World Junior Hockey Championship from Buffalo, New York is brought to you by the all-new 2018 Chevrolet Traverse. Always gives 110% or 255 horsepower.
Welcome to Buffalo, day one of the 2018 World Junior Hockey Championship, and Canada will take on Finland here at KeyBank Arena. Earlier today, the Czechs beat the Russians, hanging on for a win there. See today's referees from Austria and Russia. Manuel Nikolic from Austria, Artur Kulev from Russia. And the Finns, what to expect from them? In recent years, they have been either brilliant or horrible in this World Junior Championship. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is one of 15 players who won gold with the Finns at the 2016 Under-18s at Grand Forks, North Dakota. There is Carter Hart having an extraordinary year for Everett of the Western Hockey League, a .961 save percentage, 17 starts. He's allowed one or fewer goals in 10 of them. And there is Jussi Ahokas, who took over midway through the tournament last year for the Finns. He guided them to the gold medal in 2016 at the Under-18s in Grand Forks. And Dominic Ducharme back for his second year behind the Canadian bench, the second-year GM and head coach of Drummondville in the Quebec Major Junior League, guided Halifax to a Memorial Cup title back in 2013. And the Finns will start with their top line, centered by Jani Kuokkanen, the Carolina second-round pick. Up again, Canada's top line, if you want to call it that, centered by Sam Steele. We said to Ducharme, your fourth line was pretty good the other night. He says, oh really, which one is that? Ducharme feels his four lines are pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with the balance and the depth of their lineup, and the nerves have to run out here as you need a couple of shifts each to get your legs underneath you.
Victor Mete on loan from the Montreal Canadiens ahead for Sam Steele, and across the line was Jordan Kyrou, but the play was called offside at the finish line.
About 25 seconds into the shift, the Finns started to make a change, and that opened up a little bit of room on the outside. And the one thing that we saw, even in that little example, is that Jussi Ahokas' team is going to have to be aware of the transition Canada's defense provides. They don't fiddle around with the puck. They get it in the zone, their own zone, and it moves north in a hurry.
Brett Houghton to face off against Joni Ikonen of the Finns. And quickly the referee, Nikolic, gives them a warning. And we saw that a factor in the earlier game between the Czechs and Russians. The Czechs had a couple of centers thrown a defensive zone face-offs, and the Russians wound up scoring. Henri Jokiharju, Chicago first-round pick, goes back to pick it up. And he finds Alexei Heponiemi, number 32. Keep an eye on him, still the leading scorer in the Western Hockey League, having a great year for Swift Current. Long shot by Dante Fabro was blocked. And that long shot again for Canada, blocked by Otto Koivula. Cale Clegg, one of 7 returnees from last year, across the other Dante Fabro, who missed the pre-tournament for Canada, and part of the selection camp, was added to the lineup this morning. So Josh Mahura was cut again by the Canadians, second time in a week. He was released, brought back, and then released again.
Yeah, Mahura had a tough week. He came back, played quite well, and then was released this morning. As we look at Alex Formenton, who is going to be a disruptive force. Lucky he doesn't get an interference penalty here, but a disruptive force on the forecheck. He's so fast, he closes so quickly, and he gets a solid lick into Ikonen in the finish zone.
Face off one back, and that shot taken by Jere Inola is gloved easily by Hart. It's hard to describe just how great Carter Hart's year has been so far for Everett. His save percentage is 30 points better than any other starter in the league.
I mean, I'm astounded by that. What I can't believe is it's Christmas, and only 22 times this year he's reached behind him and pulled the puck out. He's only given up 22 goals this year.
In 17 starts.
I just find that astounding. The difference in the way he looks and projects himself this year, I guess we should remember, for about the 100th time, these are 18 and 19-year-old kids. It's a far more mature approach to things for Hart this year.
Nick Bean of the Calgary Hitmen goes back, stripped off him by Apelli Rasanen. Rasanen's shot goes off a skate. And now back at the point, that shot drifts wide for Earl Vakanainen. Some good pressure here by the Finns, and swept back in by Inola.
Long bit of strength of the Finnish game is the cycle. That's a good play right there.
Cal Foot stripped out away and plays it back to center ice. Now gathers it back up, and Foot, the son of longtime NHLer and Olympic gold medalist for Canada, Adam Foot, shovels it across for Bean. Bean threads out ahead, chipped in by McLeod. Michael McLeod had that knocked away by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the finished goal. And here is Victor Mete back with it. Crossing goes to Connor Timmins, who missed Canada's last pre-tournament game after blocking a shot against the Czechs on Wednesday in London. Victor Mete works it back in front. So to Gadjevich taken down. And Timmins moves up for Canada. Kicked around by Drake Batherson, the Ottawa 4th-round pick. Tried to work that free for McLeod. Now at the line, it gets by Timmins into the Finnish bench.
Now, a player that probably won't get much notoriety through this tournament is Cal Foot. And as I was talking about the strength of the Finns in that cycle game that they're so good at, one of the things that you have to be able to do is get into the middle of the cycle and to break it up. Here, Foot makes a nifty little backhand pass across the zone to his partner, Jake Bean, and they're out of the zone. Foot is by far the biggest Canadian defenseman physically, and he's going to have to lean on some of these Finnish forwards.
Now a steal by Sam Steele. It's brought back down by the Finns and played in by Christian Vesalainen behind the Canadian goal. Now Timmins in a battle for it. Wins the puck and plays it across to Mete. Mete got spun around there by Christian Vesalainen, and Vesalainen comes up with the puck, throws it back in front, loose puck fired right on. And the save made by Hart, point blank there on Eli Tolvanen. And Tolvanen, the Nashville first-rounder, plays it back down to the Canadian zone. Hart quickly ahead for Timmins. Canada changing as Timmins finds Dubé. Dylan Dubé also shaken up prior to the Canadian selection camp for the 2nd straight year, missed some time. Last year an eye injury. Now play called at center ice, and a hooking call coming to Canada with 3.5 gone here in the opening period. Brett Howden will go off.
Through the middle of the ice, Howden's going to try and get back into the play, and he gets nabbed for the hook in the middle of the ice as Heponiemi skates from the outside to the inside and gets hooked. Heponiemi plays on a line with Tyler Steenbergen, the high-scoring Canadian winger in Swift Current. That line is ripping up the Western Hockey League.
Faceoff wasn't done fairly. When they won the gold medal in 2014 and in 2016, the Finnish power play tore the tournament apart, especially in 2016.
That power play was something special, though. Sebastian Aho and Pujajärvi and Laine, and my goodness, they were a machine.
Tolvanen works the point in this Finnish power play. Eli Tolvanen plays in the KHL for Jokerit Helsinki. Takes the return pass. And again, it all runs through Tolvanen here. Being shadowed there by McLeod. Well, the centering pass goes off a skate. McLeod wins that battle for the puck and sends it down. By the way, Patrick Laine and Wjc Pujajärvi could both be playing for the Finns in this tournament. They're busy elsewhere, but Pelle Rasanen feeds that down. Loose in the corner now. Tolvanen lost it to Formanton. He can't quite clear it out. Vesalainen. His shot partly blocked by Maxime Comtois. And the puck loose behind the Canadian goal again. Battling for it is Vesalainen. Loose in front. Hart swept that away. And now Comtois sends it down. Minute to go in the penalty to Canada's Brett Howden. Miro Heiskanen with it now. 3rd overall to Dallas in the 2017 draft. Up ahead for Joni Ikonen. He was poke checked there. And his play got a stick on it. And now Fabro races with that loose puck and banks it back down.
Each time you see Fabro on the ice is another good note for Canada. That means they're comfortable enough. He's comfortable enough to resume more of a regular role.
And Jukka Harju works his way in. He's stripped, and again it's fired down the ice, this time by Bean. 5 gone here in the opening period. No score between Canada and Finland. Day 1 of the 2018 World Junior Hockey Championship. Heponiemi drops that off for Koivula. Olli Juolevi back across for Jukka Harju. Juolevi winds and shoots, deflected right on. Hart makes the stop. He's got the loose puck on a point shot by Olli Juolevi.
Well, there's a mark of a goaltender that feels pretty good about himself. He's confident and relaxed as that point shot from Uelevi is tipped on the way to the net, and Hart just absorbs this in the middle of the net. The Finns move the puck side to side. Jokiharju gets it back to Uelevi, and his shot is going to get tipped in front of the net by Koivula. And look at Hart in tight. The puck hits him, and it just sticks there. That's a relaxed goaltender and a nice stop for Carter Hart.
Carter Hart being watched closely by Canadian fans in this World Junior Championship and by Philadelphia Flyer fans, a second-round pick of the Flyers in 2016, and he's a major part of what they hope is that bright future of young players. Howden steps back on, 2 shots on goal for the Finns on that power play, and now a lead pass. And Boris Tkachuk works his way in. Tkachuk in a low backhand shot, and they see kept it under, he scores! Luukkonen couldn't hold it, he's arguing. Goal is the call, and Canada leads 1-0.
They're gonna review this. As you can see, Wjc Ahokas, the coach, wants them to call on it. Tkachuk makes a bold, strong push through the middle of the ice. This puck's gonna hit the post, the back of Luukkonen, and cross the goal line. Does it go across first, or is he interfered? I don't think this is going to count. That overhead view is a good one. Watch this. It hits the goaltender's leg, and as he's backing up, the key will be is that net dislodged before the puck crosses. This is a terrific move by Tkachuk off the post, off his leg. The only one that'll tell the story is the one from up top.
All right, so the referee is now on the headset, watching the replay. So this is,
I mean, we're talking literally a couple of inches here.
Artur Kurlev is the Russian referee on the headset. And Jussi Ahokas, the Finnish coach. Now there's no coach's challenge, by the way, in this tournament.
It is so close because the puck is already on its way across the goal line. It's hit the post and his left leg of Luukkonen before Tkachuk crashes into the net. And they'll look at this as for a while here till they get this thing right. But I'm telling you, this is an outstanding play by the Tampa Bay second rounder who plays in Sault Ste. Marie in the Ontario Hockey League as he powers through Kotkaniemi, who's a Detroit third rounder. He goes right through him and gets to the net.
Tkachuk was second in Ontario Hockey League goal scoring when he left for the Canadian camp with 27 in 30 games. And a long conversation going on between the on-ice referee and the video goal judge.
My first look was that I don't think it's going to count. And then the more I look at it and I look at this over top, I just don't know where the net is dislodged because it's off here and there's the puck. I think that view tells us that it's not going to count. But they're not so sure because they're still on the headset talking to video review.
All right. So the call is made. And here's the decision. It's a goal.
Oh, there you go.
So Tkachuk gets the goal, and Canada has a 1-0 lead. And
there's 5 first rounders on that Finnish blue line. One of the lower rated picks is Kotkaniemi, who's a third rounder. Not a great skater, and he got out muscled to that loose puck by Tkachuk, who makes a beautiful move and gets the rub of the ball here as the call goes his way, and Canada has the lead.
Fired down to the Canadian zone. Neil Makar goes back for it. Jaska took that away, and now we've got a penalty coming, a slashing call. It'll go against the Finns. And it's Juuso Välimäki goes off. So moments after Canada takes the lead, it goes to the power play as the Calgary first rounder goes off.
Well, this is a pretty important couple of minutes here as the Canadians get the lead 1-0, and Boris Tkachuk makes an impact here again.
And Valimaki knocked the stick out of his hands.
He scores the goal, finishes a check, and when the stick's knocked out of his hand, the Canadian power play goes to work for the first time.
Kyrou, Steenbergen, and Radish up front in the power play. Now Kyrou winds his way in. Jordan Kyrou down towards the goal line. A bang play, rebound, scores! Sam Steele, power play goal! And Canada leads 2-0. Goals 27 seconds apart have staked the Canadians to a quick lead.
It's a terrific play in front of the net by Taylor Radish. Jordan Kyrou wins the draw, and Clagg's going to keep the puck onside. But in front of the net is Radish, set up on the goal line. And then as the puck goes to the front of the net, it bounces off his stick, but he stays on the puck and pokes it free. Watch the second effort by Radish. The puck is tied up for a moment. He chips it aside, and Sam Steele slides in from the right. The Western Hockey League's Player of the Year last year makes it 2-0 on the power play.
Steele from Sherwood Park, Alberta. And Canada off to a great start on day one of this World Junior. So a controversial goal for the Canadians, then a power play goal. And in less than 30 seconds, they strike twice. And now the puck chipped over the glass and out. And a stoppage with 13:48 to go here in the opening period. Sam Steele of the Regina Pats pokes it home in the power play at the 2018 World Junior Hockey Championship.
There's Tkachuk powering his way through the Finnish defense. Off the post, off the goaltender's leg, and it's 1-0. And here's that nice play by Taylor Radish. He keeps it alive, and Sam Steele is able to chip it up into the top part of the net.
Shots are 4-3 in favor of Canada. As Yokoharu comes across the line, but the play is called offside.
And one of the greatest challenges I would imagine if you're coaching a young group of players is to keep them focused into the moment here. Dominic Ducharme's had a minute of excitement for that bench, and you got to bring them down just a little bit. And on the Finnish side, you've got to not be rattled there. They took a bad penalty. It ended up in the net. Yeah, they got a bad break if they can look at it as at the 1-0 goal, but they took that penalty. It's an undisciplined penalty, and they had to pay. Now they can't do it again.
In comes Tolvanen now with it. Tolvanen drops it back. Walking a centering pass. Just missed Christian Vesalainen. And back comes Formanton the other way. Alex Formanton. Rink wide pass. Comtois trying to slide it back in front. The pass was blocked by Yokoharu. And Mete back forward for Canada. Mete falls and chips it across to Maxime Comtois, Victoriaville in the Quebec Major Junior League. Timmins lifted way up in the air to center ice. The bouncing puck away from Patherson. Now it's center ice. McLeod knocks it down for Timmins. Jake Bean up the center ice. And Steenbergen trying to knock it down. Got it taken away by Ikonen. In comes Joni Ikonen, knocked off stride by Patherson. And quickly picked up by McLeod as Michael McLeod brings it ahead. He falls and back to pick up his Vakanainen. Another pass knocked down by McLeod. Picked off again and brought back the other way by Vakanainen. And a penalty coming to Canada. Koivula loose in the corner with it now. Otto Koivula tries to play that back and it's touched up by Patherson. The call will go against Canada with 12:16 to go off, and off goes Tyler Steenbergen.
Second time today, the Finns will go on the power play 8 minutes into the game, and Steenbergen's gonna, on this reach slash, go to the box as he gets nicked for putting the stick across Vakanainen's midsection.
Pelle Rassinen in for the face-off, but it's won by Canada's Comtois. And Formanton to the line, but not out. Knocked down by Kuokkanen. Jani Kuokkanen. Sets it up for Rasanen. Back to Tolvanen. You like Tolvanen with traffic in front. So that back door, the pass bounced away from Kuokkanen. Now at the point, Heiskanen with it. Back across, Tolvanen walks in and shoots. He fired that wide.
Good play with Comtois to deflect the shot.
Now Comtois racing to it. Tolvanen took it away. Laid back in by Apelli Rasanen. Now fired down by Fabro. Almost found Comtois there. Now Comtois works in. 3 Finns converge on him, and he just welds the puck to the wall. Finally picked out. And moved ahead back to Kuokkanen. And Comtois was spilled. That drew a groan from the crowd. As Otto Koivula sends it ahead. Juolevi drops it. Another drop pass. It bounces towards the goal. Dylan Dubé has it back now, and Dubé moves ahead. Hangs that to Gadjevich. And Gadjevich bumped off the puck, and now Koivula has it back. Throws it across, and the pass picked off by Bean and sent back down the ice. 40 seconds to go in this Finnish power play. Olli Juolevi, the Vancouver first-round pick in 2016, picks it up. He was the captain last year for the Finns, not wearing a letter this year for Finland. Now Howden wins that battle for the puck and sends it down. Luukkonen way out to play it. Being pressured there by McLeod.
Often equate speed with offense, but speed is a great negator defensively. Canada's speed here has been on display on this penalty kill. The Finns haven't even been set up here for the last 90 seconds.
Jokiharju brings it across the line now for the Finns. In the final seconds, no shots on goal for the Finns on that power play. Steenbergen steps back on. Now steered towards the goal by Vakanainen. Kicked away by Hart. Back at the point. That shot deflected off the stick of Välimäki. And Hart made the stop. Steele. Up into Steenbergen. Lifts it back for Sam Steele. Steele takes a bump. Now knocks it down along the boards. Picked up by Rasmus Kupari. Cross ice they go again. Once again, the Canadian defenders closed in quickly. Now Mete up for Kyrou. Backhands it back down to the finish zone. Välimäki steps away from Dubé. His pass, though, was tipped by Kyrou. And Timmins knocks it down at center ice. Rink wide he goes. Picked up by Thomas. Robert Thomas along the Knights works in. Now Dubé takes a bump behind the goal. Thomas back on it. Throws it back in front. Taylor Radish fired that wide. And the lead pass goes ahead to Koponen. Blocked by Fabro. And in the open side it goes. Picked up by Bean. Jake Bean. Long lead pass. Finds Thomas. Robert Thomas working in. Bumped off the puck by Heiskanen. Now Jaska has it back as back and forth they go here with under 9 to go in the opening period. Love down by Fabro and kicked ahead. Dante Fabro to Robert Thomas. And Thomas fires it down. Luukkonen up to play it. Brings it around for Tolvanen. Back down to the finish zone. It gets by Juolevi. And Luukkonen steers it there to him. Juolevi playing in his 3rd World Junior for the Finns. His pass bounces to Kuokkanen. In across the line for Tolvanen. Lost the handle. Formanton picked it the other way for Howden. In comes Brett Howden. Has a look. Walks in. Howden steps around the goal. A wraparound try. Stopped by Luukkonen. And Kuokkanen up in for Tolvanen. Took a whack there from Howden. And Jokiharju has it back for the Finns. Up ahead for Tolvanen. Tolvanen works in. Poke check there by Makar. Back at the point. Vakanainen works in. Send that pass off a skate. And it's picked up by Ikonen. Joni Ikonen. And watched there by Clegg. Gail Clegg pokes it ahead. That shot dribbles right down in front. They score! A bouncing puck corralled by the Finns. And poked home by Alexi Heponiemi. And the Finns trail 2-1.
Spoke earlier of the Finns' tenacity on the forecheck and how it's long been a strength of their country, the way they play. They get onto the puck and they stay on it. This is an odd bounce as the puck ping-pongs around a little bit. Eventually it's going to get to Heponiemi as the initial shot is deflected in front of Carter Hart. Heponiemi, who's got 71 points already this year with Swift Current, not going to get any easier than that as he pushes it into the middle of the net, and the Finns cut the Canadians' lead in half.
Heponiemi, 71 points in 29 games for the Finns. He was the Western Hockey League Rookie of the Year last year with 86 points in 72 games. He's having a dynamic year, as you mentioned, with Steenbergen in Swift Current.
Second round pick by Florida this past June.
Shots are 6-4 now in favor of the Finns. And just poked ahead for McLeod. Kakinsalo plays that around for Vakanainen. Now Patterson had it knocked away. Brought ahead by Kakinsalo. Long shot. Hart got a piece of that. And again fired down towards the Canadian goal. This time blocked by Mete. And Victor Mete streaks ahead. And across the line is Mete. And a bouncing back right back. They score! Drake Batherson pokes it home, and Canada's back on top by 2.
Canada scored 2 goals in 27 seconds earlier in the period after Heponiemi made it 2-1. 33 seconds later, Drake Batherson makes it 3-1. This starts with Victor Mete rushing up the ice. What an outstanding rush into the plate, but the puck is poked away by Miro Heiskanen. Unfortunately for Heiskanen, he puts it right on the stick of Jona Gadjevich, and Gadjevich puts it on the tape for Batherson. 3 of the 4 goals have been wide open empty nets. The lanes have been spread apart. Canada's taken advantage again, and they've restored their 2-goal lead.
Batherson plays for Kate Breton in the Quebec Major Junior League. A 4th-round pick of Ottawa, who suffered an injury very similar to the one that Ottawa's Mark Method suffered last year. A slash blew up the tip of his finger. His status for the selection camp was in question, but he healed in time to come back and play some games. Batherson at one point was leading the Quebec League in goal scoring. That's Canada's 3rd of this first period.
Now, 4th-round pick. Ottawa may have found themselves another late-round guy here. They found one in Mark Stone in the 6th round. Batherson's a real heady player.
And in comes Robert Thomas with time. Throws it across. Kachuk couldn't quite reach it. Now played back at the point. Playing with a long shot. That was tipped high by Thomas. Radish back on it now. Taylor Radish works it behind the goal. Centers it. And Thomas had his shot blocked. Jaska out to center ice, pokes that by Fabro, and Clay goes back to pick it up. Jaska, first of the puck for the Finns. Plays it back at the point, and the shot taken by Kakinsalo, kicked away by Hart. 6 to go here in the first period. Nurmi had a bounce away. Clay got it quickly now, through the middle for Steele. Steele almost had his pocket picked. He gathers the puck back, but now does have his puck stolen away as Marcus Nurmi picks it up and shoots. He fired that wide. Long shot taken there by Vakanainen, and glove by Carter Hart. Drake Batherson, the native of New Minas, Nova Scotia, has Canada back up by 2. Ladies and gentlemen. One song can change everything. The Launch, new series Wednesdays at 9, 8 Mountain, starting January 10 on CTV.
Let's go, Canada!
Still here tonight, Denmark will take on the United States. Sweden beating Belarus 5-1 over the Harbor Center across the street.
In the first 15 minutes, we got example again of 100 of what the unpredictability is of this tournament. We come into the game talking about Canada's speed versus the Finns' defense. And while one of the goals was a power play goal, they've shredded them through the seams. Look how quickly that puck comes out of the zone. Wouldn't have expected it.
And Steele with a quick count that goes wide. Canada 3 goals on 5 shots here. That's flipped wide by Fabro. Out at center ice, trying to sweep it in his vessel line and knocked away by Clay. And Kuokkanen leaves it there for Valimaki. Clay swings back. Drops it off for Hout. And Dubé pivots back. Leaves it there for Clay. Gail Clegg of the Brandon Wheat Kings sets things up for Canada with under 5 to go here in the opening period. Clegg fans on that clearing attempt. And the Finns come back the other way. Koivula drops it back, and that shot by Jokiharju is blocked by Howden. Centering pass went off a leg as well, and Comtois sends it in for Mete, jumping into the rush. In comes Mete, feeds it across, the pass out of the reach of Howden. Bouncing puck in behind the goal for Jokiharju. And Henry Jokiharju of the Portland Winterhawks plays it back down to the Canadian line, and again, Canada has trouble with the puck as Connor Timmins was bottled up there, but Timmins gathers it back up for Steenbergen. That pass goes astray. Comtois back to pick it up. And played back with a shot by Vakanainen, punched away by Hart. Mete digs it free for Steenbergen. And away comes Tyler Steenbergen. 35 goals in 27 games for Swift Current.
86 in his last 99. Been a pretty good year and a half for him.
There was talk at the start of the year that he was on pace to break the Western Hockey League goal-scoring record for a single season held by you. Canada's going to go off for tripping here, and the Finns will get a chance to once again draw within one.
Michael McLeod gets called for the trip, I guess. As Vakanainen goes down for the third time, the Finns will be on the power play here in this first period. Canada's done a really nice job, the penalty kill so far.
No shots on their last, 2 total on 2 power plays. Heiskanen to Tolvanen. Looks that down wide of the Canadian goal. Hart kicks that away. Dylan Dubé.
Oh, great play.
There for Gadjevich, and Canada's way shorthanded. Gadjevich with Dubé. The centering pass, Cal Foote jumped in, couldn't quite reach that. Gadjevich digs forward in the corner. And now Pelle Rasanen leaves it there for the Finns for Heiskanen. Heiskanen playing for IFK Helsinki in the Finnish Elite League, has 9 goals in 20 games for them as a defenseman. Tolvanen trying to seal the wall. Formanton to the line, but not out. Kuokkanen to Tolvanen. Sends it back door for Heiskanen. Shoots. Hart makes the save on that. Rebound picked up by Formanton. And Formanton along the wall trying to find Gadjevich. Now collides there with Heiskanen, who kicks it back in behind the Canadian goal. With time is Victor Mete, who fires it right back down the ice. 45 seconds to go in this Finnish power play. Uelevi. Wide to go for Jokiharju, winding in. Jokiharju shoots. Hart makes the save at point blank. The pad save as well on the rebound. 2 good stops there by the Canadian netminder. The second on Heponiemi, who has the finished goal. Here's Heponiemi with it. In the corner for Jokiharju, who spun around. And that gave Fabro time to play the puck down the ice. Lead pass to Ikonen. Fires that down the Canadian zone. Waiting for it is Timmins, who fires it by 2 Finnish defenders and back down.
The penalty kill has been excellent here in the first period.
3 shots on goal for the Finns on that power play. And now Dubé steals for Gadjevich, trying to kick that ahead. And the puck gathered up and brought back by Marcus Nurmi. Crisscrossing there with Jaskin, trying to move it ahead, tied up by Bean. Robert Thomas spins it ahead to center ice. Radish couldn't quite reach it. And Valimaki goes rink wide for Vakanainen, the Boston first-round pick. Off the line comes Koppanen. Cal Foote took that away. Now Foote battling for it behind the goal. Leaves it there for Bean. Jake Bean takes the return pass from Tkachuk. Canada changing his Bean by some time. And that backhand pass goes over the glass and out.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Home Depot. From innovative fridges to the latest laundry pairs, nobody beats our prices on appliances. Guaranteed.
Carter Hart starts to slide across the front of the net. The puck's deflected off of Jake Bean's stick, and he has to make the save. Look at this play by Dylan Dubé. We could hear Gadjevic up here yelling, middle, middle, middle. Commitment, hard work, and communication are the foundations of a real good penalty kill. Canada's had all three in this first period.
That shot by Kyrou, punched away by Luukkonen, up and out of play. Mentioned Dylan Dubé returned to the Canadian lineup on Friday for the pre-tournament game against the Swiss. Did not play against the Czechs. Suffered an injury just before the Canadian selection camp while playing for the Kelowna Rockets.
Finished up, though, 11 goals in 11 games. He's such a quick skater. Had an excellent camp in Calgary this year and was pretty close to making the team out of training camp.
There's Cockton-Salo with it now, under a minute to go here in the period. Blake holds the line. For Dubé, to Kyrou, a centering pass. Just out of the reach of Steele. And Heiskanen back for the loose puck, being forced there by Kyrou. Heiskanen's pass picked off at center ice by Fabro. Across to Clay. Quickly ahead for Dubé. Chips it there for Steele. 20 seconds to go in the period as Dubé goes in. And now Enola has it back for the Finns. Timmins lifts out ahead. And Jokiharju has it back. Up ahead for Vesalainen. Pivots back along the boards. Top line out there for the Finns. As Kuokkanen moves along the boards. Lays it back, and that long shot taken by Vesalainen as the horn sounds. And Canada will go to the dressing room with a 3-1 lead through the opening 20 minutes. Shots were 12-6 Finland in that period, but an early goal by Tkachuk. And the Canadians have a 3-1 lead on the Finns on day one of the 2018 World Junior. Our first intermission is coming up. Two kick goals by Canada in that first period. Boris Tkachuk on the one that was reviewed extensively. Then Sam Steele on the power play to make it 2-0. Alexei Heponiemi draws the Finns then one, but then Drake Batherson scores to restore Canada's 2-goal lead. The Finns outshot Canada 12-7 in the opening period. Gordon Miller back here with Ray Ferraro. And Ray, a lot of talk about this Canadian team. No forwards picked in the top 10 of the NHL draft. And Dominic Ducharme has talked about the depth of his roster.
No headliners, nobody to grab all the air, to be the attention grabber. And I think that helps a team because everybody feels ownership of it. Now, we saw this throughout that first period in spades. Here's Tkachuk's goal. Counter not. Outstanding effort as he powers his way to the net. Maxime Comtois has done a great job in the penalty kill in the first period, deflecting a shot from Tolvanen, which is something they have to do. And then look at him occupying three Finns back behind the net. Canada's third goal is a Mete rush, but look at the play from Gadjevic across to Batherson. Gadjevic's a second-round pick, Batherson a fourth-round pick. So Canada's depth of roster created problems for the Finns, and really what surprised me, Gord, even though Canada had just 7 shots, they were able to move the puck with speed in that first period. As Bob mentioned, they took 3 penalties, and that needs to die. That's enough penalties for this afternoon.
Now Mete digging for it. Connor Timmins in there as well. Vesalainen trying to dig it free for the Finns. And Timmins poked it away from him. Now Steele back with it. Sam Steele's pass knocked down by Kuokkanen. But then stolen back by Kyrou. And away comes Steele. Drops it back for Dubé. Dylan Dubé works in. He got poke checked, and then Steele spilled. Goes hard into the end board. Kyrou sends that rink wide. Scooped up by Vesalainen. And Christian Vesalainen, the Winnipeg first rounder, comes jumping in, drops it back. And Timmins stole that away. Ole Juolevi. For the last couple of years, the London Knights of the Ontario League is shooting. Glove down by Hart. And he'll hang on.
Gord, you wonder why goalies get the reputation of being a little odd. Carter Hart won't leave the ice until everybody else is off the ice. So there's the Finnish backup goalie. He's doing some skating and some stretching. Now I think he's just talking. This went on for about a minute and a half before Hart finally left. Now if you're the Finns and you're the backup goaltender here, Lassi Lehtinen, next period, why don't you stay out there for 5 minutes? You got nowhere else to go. You're just wearing a ball hat. Superstition is a strange thing. I know you're big on it.
Taylor Radish knocks it in. And up along the boards, chipped back by Thomas for Fabro. Dante Fabro back for Clegg. Clegg's pass was tipped away there by Otto Koivula. High off the glass, it goes knocked down by Thomas. Robert Thomas. Where Kachuk, that was knocked down and brought back by Ikonen. Joni Ikonen. Gonna move around Clegg. They bump in the corner. Ikonen still digging for it. And Fabro plays it back. Pass by Thomas for Radish goes off a stake. Gonzalo in, and the pass deflected away by Kachuk. Clegg, nifty back pass there. Kachuk quickly finds Radish. And Taylor Radish moves it back in. Heinola up ahead for Koivula. And Otto Koivula with the fins changing moves it across. That pass ticked away by McLeod. And now picked up by Foote. Cal Foote's dad, Adam, a two-time Stanley Cup winner. Olympic gold medalist, as we mentioned, nearly 1,200 NHL games. Cal could have chosen to play for the U.S., grew up playing in the Denver area, but chose to play for Canada. As McLeod was knocked down, and play continued. Gadjevich peels back in the corner. Jonah Gadjevich centers it. Patterson couldn't pull the trigger, and now Foote has it back. Jake Bean, rink-wide pass for Gadjevich. Both teams changing. Gadjevich in, shoots, and it's kicked away by Luukkonen. Patterson digs it free. And long shot by Mente goes off the outside of the goal frame. Knocked down by Gadjevich and behind the goal. Here's Howden with it. Brett Howden centers it. And fanning on that was Maxime Comtois. Great pace here in this game this afternoon between these two teams in their opener. As Formanton comes steaming across the line. In comes Formanton, head of steam. He falls, throws it back in front. And no one there for Canada.
Well, Formanton had a step. He had a lane to the net and just blew a shoe and fell down. There was room in front of him.
The Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup is back. Help Pee Wee teams across Canada by sharing your suggestions for good deeds in your community with #GoodDeedsCup.
Here is Alex Formanton, the Ottawa Senators' second-round draft pick. He gets outside of the defense. A little stick into the hip by Vakanainen slips him off balance. You have a little word with Trevor Letowski behind the Canadian bench, but Formanton's speed will be his calling card in this tournament and beyond for him.
Off the ice, in the face-off won by the Finns, but Thomas knocks it down at center ice. Robert Thomas in, shoots, and Luukkonen got just a piece of that. Radish for Thomas, a centering pass. Tipped wide by Kachuk. Boris Kachuk throws it back down towards the goal, knocked down by Gonzalo, and he'll play it to center. Playing for Fabro. Dante Fabro, the native of Coquitlam, BC. To Thomas. In comes Kachuk with a shot that was blocked. Rebound, and Radish had to go off a stick. Up and out of play.
It's going to be a dangerous line for Canada as Robert Thomas is such a heady player. He's going to take this loose puck, catch it, and now spin quickly into the zone where he releases this shot for a good stop by Luukkonen. Thomas says he's a visual learner, and while lots of guys work just through repetition, he spent a lot of his summer looking at NHL players' releases, how they shoot the puck, how they transfer it from the outside to the inside, and then he would go to work shooting the puck both on and off the ice, and said he's seen quite a change, quite an improvement in his delivery of the puck. That's a heck of a play by Hart, by the way.
Guy would play for a defenseman, never mind a guy wearing all that equipment and carrying a goal stick. And icing called against Canada, as you see Robert Thomas, a native of Aurora, Ontario, the St. Louis first-round pick in 2017. On the Memorial Cup with London in 2016, and during the playoffs that year, Mitch Marner of the London Knights, when some injuries hit, asked for Thomas to be put on his line. He's a smart guy. He was 16 years old at the time. It said, I want him on our line, and Thomas was a big part of the Memorial Cup win.
St. Louis has two outstanding prospects on this team, both in Thomas and Jordan Kyrou. They've also got Klim Kostin, who we saw in the first game with the Russians.
Victor Mete, also a member of that Memorial Cup winning team, plays it around. And Tolman, stick broke. He finds Kuokkanen. And the long shot stopped by Hart. Rebound flipped wide. And
the puck hit Carter Hart in the mask, and so they blew the the play dead.
It's not automatic anymore, but if there was any question if the shot staggered, then they call it.
Now, what's interesting about that is in the first game, the goaltender for the Czechs had his throat protector knocked off. It was dangling, and they never blew the puck until he finally took his mask off. So a little tighter standard here this afternoon, apparently.
Howden for the face-off against Ikonen. And Howden wins that draw. Clegg threw it right back in front, loose puck. Howden tied up his man. Rebound, and the backhand shot taken in by Koivula. That was blocked. And some nervous moments there in the Canadian crease. Now Clegg looked into that pass, moves it ahead. Koivula picked that off and fired it wide. Clegg back on it. And again the Finns hold it. Juolevi plays it back in deep. Foot. Grabs a loose puck. And Cal Foot steers that down the ice. An icing call against the Canadians, who got sloppy there for a minute or so in their own zone.
Well, after Cale Clegg tries a pretty creative play, maybe a little too creative, Canada never gets the puck back. He wants to go right to Brett Howden in the middle of the ice, but Heponiemi is standing right there. Fortunately for Canada, Koivula fans on the backhanders. Clegg wants to go right in the middle of the ice. Whoops. Heponiemi standing right on top of the puck, and Canada never gets the puck back for any length of time.
Puck and Sow along wrist shot, punched away by Hart. And now Howden took Kupari and Hart, and it's brought back by Steenbergen. Tyler Steenbergen, who was on pace to break your Western Hockey League goal-scoring record, but a week of the flu coming behind schedule.
There's no time for that. Unfortunately, you got to be lucky and healthy.
McLeod for McCarr, in shoots, and Cale McCarr put that wide. Here's Bean back on it.
Wow, was he open. The Finns had completely broken down.
McCarr played just under 2 minutes in that opening period. Nifty dance there, walks in, McCarr back on it. Loose behind the finished goal, McCarr spins back, holds, still has it, shoots, and the save is made by Luukkonen. Couple of good chances there for Cale McCarr. It remains 3-1 in favor of Canada.
We haven't seen much of Cale McCarr here, the number 4 pick in last year's draft by the Colorado Avalanche, but he dances in, just misses. Nice feed from McLeod, and then do you think he's got any confidence? He's the last man back. Whoop. And slides right between two Finnish defenders, right out by the blue line to keep the rush alive. 75 points in 54 games in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. Got him drafted number 4, the highest ever draft from that league.
And the only top 10 draft pick on the Canadian roster. And now a penalty coming to Canada as Radish touches up. A tripping call will go against the Canadians, and Boris Tkachuk will go off. So another chance for the Finns on the power play.
Tkachuk and Dominic Ducharme had the same reaction, just a shake of the head. There's the trip. As Tkachuk's stick, I don't even think he's really reaching for the puck. His stick's just there, but he ends up tripping up Juuso Välimäki. And look, the Finns can't be asking for any more gifts here. It's another power play. They're 4th of the game. They have 5 shots on goal, but nothing to show for it.
Heiskanen for Kuokkanen. Back to Heiskanen. Shoots. It goes off the leg of a teammate. Rebound shot taken there by Tolvanen was blocked by Clegg, and Cale Clegg is slow to get up for Canada.
Yeah, he's really on the limp. He's trying to skate it off, but now he's going to head over to the Canadian bench.
Canada has a full roster now with Fabro added. The Finns, by the way, still have an open spot in their roster that can be filled at any time. The only caveat to that is once a player is named, he can't be taken off. Tolvanen in, shoots at Hart, knocks that high off the glass. Kuokkanen takes the return pass from Rasanen and sets it up at the top, takes the return, feet try to pass it back in, but it rolled off his stick, and now Timmins fires it down for Canada. Kuokkanen out to play it, and Comtois closing quickly on him. And Kuokkanen swings back and tips it there for Tolvanen. Tolvanen in, shoots, that was blocked by Fabro, knocked down the line by Kuokkanen. Working feeds for Koivula. And Koivula sets up in the corner, feeds it back at the point. Pass there by Jokiharju, takes the return, feed, shoots and scores! Deflected in front, a power play goal. The Finns are back within one.
Bob McKenzie mentioned in between periods that the number of penalties is got to flatten out for Canada. Just too many opportunities, and finally the Finns cash in. As Jokiharju, who had a very active first period, is going to shoot this from the point. You got 37 points for Portland in the Western Hockey League. His point shot deflects off a Canadian forward who's trying to block this shot. Right there, it bounces off the bottom of the shin pad of Gadjevich, and it's going to bounce down, and then watch it skip back up. So it's like a sinker that hits the ice and then bounces back up over the pad of Carter Hart. And the Finns, a power play goal finally. They're 1 for 4 in the power play, and it's 3-2.
And Timmins plays it across to Mete. Mete being watched there by Heponiemi. So the top line comes back on for the Finns. Mete, lead pass for Dubé. Dylan Dubé now shovels out of the corner. Bounces it behind the goal now. Uelevi had to leave it there. Jokiharju back on it. He's got 7 goals for Portland already this year as a defenseman in the Western Hockey League. Dubé. Up ahead for Kyrou. The play's offside at the finish line.
The Finns start to move the puck around pretty nicely on the power play. They're going to have Canada spread out pretty well here, and as it gets moved back around, you see the shot deflect off Gadjevich's stick. Jokiharju, a first-round pick by Chicago in 2019, unloads it. And Tkachuk in the penalty box can only close his eyes and get back to work himself here, as Canada still has the 1-goal lead, but time to get back at it.
Steenbergen taken down. Puck's under him as McLeod comes in to help out. And now Steenbergen back on it. Leaves it there for McLeod. Poked back by Batherson for Foot. Cal Foot shot hit a leg. And now Batherson has it back for Canada. Batherson to Foot. Rink wide to Bean, and closing quickly on him is Kupari. Foot for McLeod. And McLeod falls. Brought back by the Finns. In comes Koponen. The hook there by Batherson. The lead pass goes to McLeod. Michael McLeod banks that back down to the finish zone. Luukkonen leaves it there for Kutkinsalo. Kutkinsalo takes the pass from Heiskanen. And in stride is Nurmi. Bumping there with Fabro. Playing with a loose puck, trying to find Radish with it. And now Fabro along the boards to Radish. Nurmi tied up by Fabro. 10.5 to go here in the second period. Thomas plays it across to Clegg. Tkachuk back for Thomas. It bounces down to the finish zone. That'll be an icing call against the Canadians.
In the first period, we talked about how the Finns had to pick themselves up and not lose the game outright at 2-0, and Dominic Ducharme's team had to stay composed. Now Canada's got to find a little bit of energy. They flattened out here a little bit, and you look to those players like Gadjevich or Tkachuk, Comtois, Batherson, Formanton, a little bit of physicality into the game. Add a little bit of energy if you can get in on a forecheck.
Off the face-off win by Thomas. Tkachuk kicks at it. Radish reaching forward as well. Knocked down by Tolvanen for a moment. No. And Tolvanen has it back. In the corner he goes for Vesalainen. Back for Kuokkanen. And Vesalainen picks it free for the Finns. Walks out of the corner. Kuokkanen backhands it back in front. Hart's down. Rebound. Oh, what a stop there. As Tolvanen got that shot away. Now Tkachuk up for Radish. And finally Fabro clears it up and finds Radish with it. Canada back in action tomorrow night against Slovakia. As Thomas picks it up, a centering pass just missed the intended target, Tkachuk. Now centered again, Tkachuk had it poked away, this time by Uelevi. Vesalainen works in, Uelevi is shot at Hart. Makes the glove save on him. Canada with a couple of 2-goal leads, but the Finns are chipping away. Jokiharju with a power play goal. It's 3-2. Team Slovakia looking on will be Canada's next opponent tomorrow night. Our coverage starts at 6:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Pacific here in Buffalo.
Will be their first game of the tournament. Dominic Ducharme's team will play 4 in 5 days to start.
Won't play on New Year's Eve, which is unusual.
But their rivalry game, of course, is the outdoor game against the United States at New Era Field. And
an interesting wrinkle, and of course, to make that happen, the organizers are allowed to change the seating somewhat, so they move Canada and the United States to the same group. As that shot taken quickly by Koivulas, stopped by Hart. Now Formanton works in. Formanton in, shoots, and that was blocked by Valimaki. Comtois trying to dig it free. And Ikonen backhands it around. Knocked down by Timmins. Connor Timmins shoots, and Luukkonen makes the stop as he had Howden standing right on top of him.
One thing that's certainly changed in the last 10 years about the game is almost every whistle around the front of the net, there would be way more of that and a little bit more of a edge to the push and the shove. But the officials now are quick to get in. They also take one player, which they never used to do. And so guys are more willing to dodge out of there.
You saw Heponiemi laughing there, talking to Brett Howden. That's Swift Current versus Moose Jaw. That's a change too.
Yeah, they've had a change, or they've had a few together, or a few games against each other, sure. It used to be so much more anonymous when you play an international side. Didn't know any of the players. Now these guys have run across each other at a U16, 17, 18, maybe in league play.
Big B's long shot goes off his stick, up and over the glass.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Home Depot. With our wide selection of top brand appliances, nobody beats our prices. Guaranteed.
Back in Buffalo, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is a Buffalo second-round pick in 2017. We mentioned he won a gold medal with the Finns in the 2016 under-18s. He only played in the medal round. Did play in their preliminary round games, but was dynamite in the quarters, the semis, and the gold medal game. One of 15 players from that gold medal winning team was here, along with the head coach, Jussi Ahokas.
All the way, all the way, all the way.
Gadjevich tries to chip that ahead. Knocked by Makar. Now a race forward as Koponen comes in. And Koponen able to negate the icing. Foot digs it free. Played around by McLeod for Makar. Now bouncing puck at the line, and almost on it there was Gadjevich. And Makar has it back. Makar in his freshman year at UMass. Watches as Carter Hart makes the save with that long shot and hangs on. I mentioned Makar played for the Brooks Bandits, a Colorado first-round pick. He's the only player on the Canadian roster picked in the top 10 of the draft. He was 4th overall to the Avalanche.
That's a big jump for him this year as he goes from the Alberta Junior League to become a true freshman at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. And so now all of a sudden you're not playing against 17-year-old boys anymore. You're playing against 23-year-old guys. And it's a big change for him. He's got just 1 goal and 8 assists on the season for a dynamically talented player.
Kuokkanen kicked out, so Tolvanen steps in. The face-off won by Steele. Sam Steele on it. Chipped ahead for Dubé. The Canadian captain, Dylan Dubé, for Clegg. Back for Dubé, working in a backhand shot. Loose in front. And a chance there for Kyrou. And just missed on that. Looked like Luukkonen got a piece of it. And now Clegg back looking for Canada to Kyrou. In with Dubé and Steele. A rink-wide pass for Steele. A backhand shot, and Luukkonen gloves that. What a chance for Jordan Kyrou.
When Dylan Dubé came back and was asked about his line, he said, "We're fast. We can really go." Watch how quickly Dubé starts with this puck on the edge and then is going to get himself into the middle of the ice to create the chance. But it's going to be Kyrou who comes in late. And you're right, Gord, Luukkonen gets a glove on this, but it's Dubé's speed that creates this from the neutral zone all the way to the goal line. a dangerous chance for a very quick trio of forwards.
Thomas wins the face-off to Tkachuk, but it wasn't done fairly, and Thomas will be shown out.
Last couple of minutes, Canada's had 2 or 3 decent shifts where the puck has been in this half of the ice, where they want to take a little bit of the starch out of the Finns here, who have worked themselves back into this game.
Off the face-off win, Radish trying to center it. Now Thomas back on it. Puck bounces back, Mete in, shoots. That was blocked by Kotkaniemi. The Finns come back quickly the other way. Joni Ikonen working on Timmins, and Timmins stays within step for step. Mete up ahead and able to find Tkachuk. Tkachuk's rink-wide pass for Radish. Bounced, and now Radish spins and fires, scores! Taylor Radish with a rocket. And Canada's again up by 2.
Last year, Taylor Radish had 5 goals in the tournament. He had an assist on the power play in the first period, and what is a broken play that looks dead in the middle of the ice as Gadjevic's pass goes behind Radish. Pretty softly played by Kotkaniemi, the Finnish defenseman. He deflects the puck and then he slides away. Radish's shot curves and dips, and Canada has regained their 2-goal lead.
He was second in points in the Ontario League last year on a line that tore the Ontario Hockey League apart. Alex DeBrincat now with the Chicago Blackhawks was his winger.
More of a shooter last year for Radish. This year, more of a playmaker, as he's got 44 points but 29 assists in the first 30 games of the year. Last year, as you mentioned, Gord, he's got 42 goals.
Now Bean pokes it ahead. Banked up by Houghton. Knocked down and played back in by Rassinen. Well, 4-2 lead, 6.5 to go in the second period. And here's Bean with it. Jake Bean, a performance in trying to chip it ahead. Knocked out by Jaska. And Makar, nifty back pass there, finds Comtois. Maxime Comtois centers it just out of the reach of Makar, who's jumped in. Jaska. Quickly ahead for Nurmi, who banks that down to the Canadian zone. Back goes Fabro for it. Dante Fabro banks it off the glass and back to center.
Hey, what's up?
Kotkaniemi. And now back to pick up is Fabro. And the play is called at the Canadian line. Taylor Radish has the goal. And Mom Gwen has reasons to smile on Boxing Day in Buffalo with Canada up by 2.
Taylor Radish's first of the tournament has given Canada a 4-2 lead. Watch this puck, it's on its edge, and it looks like it's going to hit Luukkonen right in the blocker, but this thing spins and turns as Radish hammers this, and it beats him on the blocker side.
Knuckleball. Now Dubé chips it out to center. Picked up in stride by Kyrou. Here comes Kyrou with a shot off the stick of Kotkaniemi, up and out of play.
Boris Tkachuk and Victor Mete with assists on that last goal, so that's a couple assists for Mete this afternoon. Tkachuk's got a goal and an assist.
There's Jordan Kyrou, who was leading the Ontario Hockey League in points when he left for the Canadian camp with 58 in 30 games. 19 goals on the year for the native of Toronto. Drafted in the second round by St. Louis, plays for Sarnia in the OHL. Dubé back for Mete with a shot. Darian Hatcher and David Legwan bought the Sarnia Sting. Hatcher's coaching the team, and they're one of the top teams in the Ontario League. Now the puck trickles right down to Hart. And he has to hang on to that, as once again Christian Vesalainen was bearing in on him. Kyrou scored 30 goals last year for Sarnia. But you mentioned the St. Louis Blues are thrilled with Kyrou.
Can really go. He's a highly skilled player, and then you add him to Thomas and to Costin. It's some pretty good young players they've put together in St. Louis. It's a very good team.
A good team now.
Yes.
Centering pass knocked down by Steele.
Oh, Canada's not shy to make that pass through the goal crease. That's a couple of times today.
In comes Steele along with Kyrou. Valimaki took him into the corner. Played up by Heiskanen. For Vesalainen. Back in behind hard. His foot is back to pick it up. Bounced off his stick for a moment, and closing quickly there was Koivula. Kachuk. Up for Radish. And now Bean trying to clear it out. Knocked down by Koivula. Rink wide to go to Juolevi. Juolevi shoots. Hart made the save. Knocked the rebound to the corner. Ikonen trying to center it. Taken away by Foot. And Thomas finds Radish. Banks it back for Foot with the Finns out shooting Canada 21-16 in the game, but trailing 4-2. Kachuk. Back for Foot. Canada's got a tag back up as Radish was ahead of the play. Ikonen drops that back for Jokiharju. Lead pass for Heponiemi. His centering pass knocked down by Thomas, and Comtois quickly back the other way for Canada. Maxime Comtois fires it down. Luukkonen almost lost that puck. And then Comtois gets in there first. Vakanainen plays it in for Inola. Inola centers it. Pass knocked down by Clay. The lead pass almost found Howden. And Luukkonen up to play it. Cross he goes to Vakanainen. He got bumped there by Comtois. And the puck loose at center ice. Brought ahead by Apelli Rassen and drops it back. And Heiskanen couldn't connect on the shot. Vakanainen leaves it there for Miro Heiskanen. The third overall pick in the 2017 NHL draft. Heiskanen up for Nurmi. 3 to go here in the second period. The centering pass by Koponen was blocked. Valimaki, nifty move, walks in, tries to shoot. Howden took that away. Now the lead pass for Comtois. In behind the Finnish defense, but at the end of a long shift, Comtois needs off the ice. Valimaki snaps that pass ahead for Vesalainen. Blake steps into him. Vesalainen works out of the corner, shoots. Hart makes the stop in tight, and then grabs the rebound as Vesalainen crashes the Canadian crease.
That's a pretty good save for Carter Hart as Vesalainen, the Winnipeg first rounder from last year, makes a strong move as we get a look at Maxime Comtois. This is why he doesn't have any energy left for that partial breakaway. He gets in on the forecheck, knocks down Gonzalo. Excellent work to force the Finns to play the puck. Eventually the puck will come back to him, and he is beyond out of gas. He turns a breakaway into a chip into the corner, just goes to get some air.
Batherson knocks that down for Canada, plays it to center ice. And now Batherson kicking at it, finds McLeod for Gadjevich. And Juolevi knocks that down. Ole Juolevi had a tough year last year. That pass turned over. Batherson walks in, drops it back. The shot by Gadjevich was blocked, but by all accounts, Juolevi having a great year playing for TPS Turku in the Finnish Elite League as the puck goes into the Canadian bench.
Juolevi looked disinterested last year, disconnected with the game and in junior, and even with the Finns in this tournament. He needed a challenge, and he ended up back in Finland. Now his roommate in London was Victor Mete, and apparently Mete drove him all over the place. He was his driver. Juolevi didn't have a car. They argued about the music. Mete likes country music. He likes whatever the Finnish music is. And he said it was okay, not exactly his style, but he and Juolevi had a good little chat. Now they probably won't see each other again for a while till the tournament is done.
He'll win that face-off back. Here's Cale Clegg with a long shot. Gloved by Luukkonen, and couldn't handle the rebound. And Steele chopped at that. Vakanainen works it across the line, plays it down behind the Canadian goal. Clegg goes back, being shadowed there by Koivula. Now Clegg plays it along for Dubé. Dylan Dubé, rink wide for Fabro. Now Fabro across the line, shovels that down to the finish zone. Quickly on this Dubé. Poked away from him. Canada changing as Fabro hopped off the ice. And now Koivula has to swing back. And here's Heiskanen with it. Being watched by Steele. The lead pass knocked down by Mete. Quickly ahead he goes for Steele. Rink wide for Kyrou. Shovels that down. Canada completes the change. Final minute now, the second period. Heiskanen. Long lead pass at center ice. Chopped down by Thomas. Back for Foot. Cal Foot's pass goes off a stick. Icing waved off as Valimaki goes back. And now Rassinen digs for it. Bounce that down to the Canadian zone where Foot is back to pick it up. Foot tied up there by Inola. Centering pass and the shot taken there by Koponen. Knocked away by Hart.
That's a good save. He had to get the rebound away from the front of the net as well.
Thomas on the tape of Kachuk, but it's knocked down by Jokiharju at center ice, and Jokiharju moves away from Radish. Thomas almost poked that freight. And Jokiharju slides it back down to the Canadian zone as time winds down here in the second period. Mete plays it across, and the Canadians will go to the dressing room with a 4-2 lead through 40 minutes of play on day one of the 2018 World Junior Hockey Championship. Coming up, our second intermission with James Duffy and the panel live on TSN. Back here in Buffalo, Henry Jokiharju scored for the Finns on the power play to draw them back within one, but then Taylor Radish with a rolling puck fired it home, and Canada restores its 2-goal lead. The shots on goal favor the Finns 23-17. Cor Miller back here with Ray Ferraro, and Canada got the news late yesterday that Dante Fabro would be okay to go after blocking a shot just before the Canadian selection camp, and he brings a lot to the table.
He really does, and he brings a balance to the skating ability, the offensive push that Clegg and Makar bring to, and Mete bring to the Canadian defense. 12.5 minutes in the first two periods for Dante Fabro, and I've been really impressed with how seamlessly he's come back into the lineup. He hasn't been on the ice very much in the last couple of weeks. He plays a real simple game, and for a team that might have a bit of risk on their blue line, he's been a safe haven today. I've liked his positioning, I've liked his performance, I've liked his ability to move the puck rather simply and quickly, and it was not easy for him to go back to school last year after losing the gold medal game. 6 of his teammates walked in with gold medals.
Yeah.
His silver medal wasn't making much of a story.
So the teams start the third period 5-on-5. Canada's next game tomorrow night against Slovakia. The Finns will play Denmark on Thursday. Danes will play the United States here in the third game in this building on opening day. As Mete slides it back for Timmins. Up ahead for Kyrou, bats it down to the finish zone. Heiskanen goes back. Miro Heiskanen logging major minutes for the Finns along with Urho Vakanainen. And here's Heiskanen with it. Timmins up for Kyrou. President ahead for Dubé. Dylan Dubé in, shoots, and Luukkonen makes the stop and corrals the rebound.
Now there's that speed again for Canada. We're going to end up talking about this a lot, but it's also the transition as the puck moves from the back end to the front, and Dylan Dubé is able to skate onto it. The Finns turn it over quickly up from Timmins, and now Kairou's going to find Dubé skating onto the puck. He's off it on the left side. He comes close in support, gets a pass, and a good shot on goal.
Thomas steps in for the face-off and wins it back to Radish. Taylor Radish drops it back for Thomas. The pass out of his reach goes back down to the Canadian zone. And Carter Hart, who switches his hands over to play the puck, slides it back for Fabro. Jokiharju's shoot in, blocked by Kachuk. And in comes Kachuk. Boris Kachuk slides it back across for Radish, a backhand shot. And Luukkonen got a piece of that. Now Radish back with it, centers it. Luukkonen makes the stop in tight on Thomas. What a save there by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. And now a shot off the pipe. Kachuk ran right off the pipe. Now the rebound hammered wide by Thomas. 2 good chances there for Canada, and finally banked out by Joni Ikonen. In comes Tkachuk with it.
Well, what a shift here for Boris Tkachuk.
He can bust across the line for the Finns. His wrist shot blocked by Bean. The centering pass goes back to Gonzalo. Shoots. That was blocked by Comtois. Comtois trying to chip that out. Koivula has it back. Koivula walks across the top, fires off the inboards. It goes wide. Rebound loose in front. Hart kicked that away. And once again, the clearing attempt is knocked down by the Finns, but now Formanton leaves it there for Bean. Bean for Formanton. Busts in behind the Finnish defense. Works in a backhand shot, and Luukkonen got a glove on that to knock it wide. Lead pass for Kupari. Knocked down by Makar. He finds Houghton. Brett Houghton rings wide for Comtois. Another play called offside at the finish line.
Boris Tkachuk got Canada on the board in the first period. He starts this whole sequence by racing to the loose puck, turning the puck back over, and Luukkonen makes an unbelievable save on Tkachuk, but the shift isn't over yet. Look how he opens up to receive the pass from Timmins at the blue line. His wrister's going to go through traffic. It goes unimpeded right off the goalpost, and if this doesn't hit the foot of Luukkonen, Robert Thomas is going to bang this into the empty net. It's an outstanding shift. He's been a prominent player Tkachuk has in the game today.
Heiskanen racing to it for the Finns, trying to center it, but Timmins took it away and drops it back for Mete.
By the way, how many draft picks does Tampa have in the last couple of years here in this tournament? There's another one, Boris Tkachuk, a second rounder for them.
He had 7 last year.
A couple of years ago, it was Braden Point.
Can't do a final count yet because the rosters aren't all completed. Brought in now by Derby, shoots, and Hart makes a stop on him. We saw the standoff continue between Carter Hart and the backup goaltender Lassie Letton, and they showed it in our second intermission. It's going to get complicated. Teams are going to see that now and going to leave their backup to wait out Hart.
I don't. Good sportsmanship and all that stuff. My backup goalie would stand there till he's got roots growing underneath him. Like there would be no way. I would be standing 3 steps below the tunnel and say, turn around and go back out there.
Luukkonen takes the return pass and swats that down for Vesalainen. Trying to find Tolvanen. And now racing to it for Canada. Dubé takes that return pass from Kyrou. Dubé to Jordan Kyrou, a centering pass. And Steele couldn't make contact with it. Now Dubé across for Clegg. Okay. Clegg down to Kyrou. Bounces to Dubé, trying to play it down low. Uelevi picked it off. And Uelevi slides that back across. Now Steele steps into Uelevi. And Fabro holds the line. The long shot kicked up by Luukkonen. Bouncing puck. And Steele couldn't knock it down. Now Tolvanen works on Fabro, but Fabro took that away. Dante Fabro, a first-round pick of Nashville. Now wheels back as Kuokkanen. Plays it across the centering pass, tipped wide by Tolvanen, and Hart pokes away the rebound. Steele back with it. Knocked down to the finish line, brought ahead. As Vakanainen fires it down to the Canadian zone. Clegg waiting for it. Plays it back to center ice. Shots are 25-22 in favor of the Finns. Gonzalo. It's a hit for Heponiemi, who's got one of the Finnish goals today. As Bean waits for it. Jake Bean ships it there for Thomas. That was knocked down by Heponiemi. And now Koivula. They work it back. It was picked off by Bean. Foot to center ice for Radish. Takes the return pass from Thomas. And now Thomas digging for it, but Heiskanen took that away. Foot kicking at it. Stop it, Ray.
Certain things just amuse me.
Thomas digging for it. Now the centering pass for Radish bounced away as Radish gets back on it. Looks back for Bean. And Koivula had his stick knocked out of his hands. That's going to be a penalty to Canada. So with 5:09 gone here in the third period. The slashing call will go to Taylor Radish, and the Finns will go back to the power play.
It's the 4th straight penalty for Canada. This is a penalty that the players don't like because your complaint would be, man, get him to hold on to his stick. I didn't really hit it that hard, but Radish goes to the box. His goal gave Canada a 4-2 lead. The Finns got back to 1 with a power play goal, as Jokiharju had scored in the second period.
Heiskanen takes the return pass from Tolvanen, and now Tolvanen with it. Now back to Heiskanen. Feeds it across, and that shot was blocked from Välimäki. Tolvanen. Back to Heiskanen. Välimäki walks in and shoots. He fired that wide. Check that Kuokkanen with that shot. And now Heiskanen back for the loose puck. Heiskanen races across the line and fires it in. Comtois steps into Tolvanen. The loose puck goes to Michael McLeod. McLeod buys some time and sends it down the ice as Canada will change penalty killer. Heiskanen waiting for it. Walks up from behind the Finnish goal. Being shadowed there by Dubé. Heiskanen plays it ahead. We got too many men called against the Finns. So the Finns, in the midst of a change, the puck played in front of their bench. And the player coming on played the puck before the man he was replacing went off. And so it's too many men against the Finns.
That's a critical mistake halfway through their power play. You see the Finns making the change. There's 4 of them standing together. Oop, there's 2 more. And so the Finns' power play is gone.
So Ikonen comes on, and that's the extra skater. And the puck was played by Heponiemi. And so it's 4-on-4 for the next minute. Steele wins the face-off back. And Timmins has his pass picked off by Koppanen. Rink wide goes for Juolevi. All the Juolevi jumps in. Takes the return pass, walks in. Juolevi shoots off the stick of Mete. The puck goes over the glass and out. 4-2 Canada leads here in the third period in Buffalo, New York. The host team, the defending champions, are in the house. Team USA has arrived, getting set for its game against Denmark at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific tonight. Brady Tkachuk walking through, younger brother of Matthew. Look forward to seeing him on the 29th in the outdoor game against Canada. A feisty young man.
Yes, he is. Apple tree and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. That apple fell right inside the tree, I think. The puck brought across the line by Koivula, and it's offside at the Canadian line. 30 more seconds of 4-on-4 than a brief Canadian power play for a minute. Got 13:20 to go here in the third period.
We've seen some pretty wild swings in energy in this game. Canada had it early, then the Finns had it most of the second period, and after Radish scored to make it 4-2, the game's just flattened out, which is just perfect for Canada. They've skated into position to not allow the Finns much room to move the puck at all.
So Koivula there, 6'3", 225 pounds. This is a big Finnish team. Heiskanen plays that back for Tolvanen. Across to Välimäki, walking in, shoots, and Hart kicks that away. Dubé up with it. Lead pass to Kuokkanen. In shoots, it's off a stick, up and out of play. The Finns have had the strangest 5-year run you could imagine at the World Junior Hockey Championship. They're like lightning. When they strike, they're brilliant, and otherwise not so much. So 9th last year, gold the year before, 7th, gold, 7th. Those 2 gold medals, Ray, are the only 2 medals they've won in the last 11 years in the tournament.
And it makes you think, because they were gold, and you remember them so clearly, that they've had a long period of success. We've just shown they haven't. It's almost like thinking Canada wins this tournament every year. Except they don't. They've got 1 gold medal in 8 years.
Russians have 1 and 14. So Canada now on the power play for a minute. 1 for 1 on the man advantage. And McCarr brings it ahead. Drops it off for Thomas to Bean. Jake Bean got stripped at the finish line. And spinning back with his Vakanainen. He'll throw that back down to the Canadian zone. McCarr to Bean. Calgary Hitman star, a first-round pick of the Carolina Hurricanes, almost made their team out of camp this year. Fires it around. Tkachuk. Centers it, just missed Batherson with that pass. Here's Batherson back with it. Drops it off to Bean. To the point for McCarr. Cross to Thomas with time. In shoots, trying to find the stick of Tkachuk. That went just wide, and now McCarr has to go back to center ice. Final seconds of this power play as Thomas winds his way in. Drops it back for Bean. Jake Bean with time, shoots. The save made by Luukkonen, the rebound cleared away. And Ikonen had it taken away by the very swift Cale Makar. Thomas banks it in for Comtois. He got bumped there by Valimaki. And Heiskanen has it back to Valimaki. Koivula trying to clear it out, knocked down by Howden. And here's Clay with a chance. That shot deflects wide. Comtois back on it, feeds it back in front, goes through the skates of Howden. And back at center, Steenbergen plays it back for Fabro. Chipped in by Comtois. Luukkonen moves it there for Valimaki. He had Howden all over him as it's now flipped down the ice by Koivula. And that's icing against the Finns.
Somehow Finland's got to get themselves back in the game. It's not with long passes. It's not with hope stretch passes. It's by supporting the puck, getting themselves close together so you can attack with speed, because if they don't, Canada's just appearing to be too quick for them, and there's no room for them to create in the middle of the ice. It's been a really good first half of this third period for Canada.
Gadjevich with a shot. Luukkonen makes the save, and there's no rebound.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Home Depot. From innovative fridges to the latest laundry pairs, nobody beats our prices on appliances. Guaranteed.
Lord Miller, Ray Ferraro, Tessa Bonhomme, our TSN production crew here. On this Boxing Day, wish you a happy holiday season. Hope it's been safe and enjoyable. 2017 almost in the books. As Mete plays it ahead.
Yeah, yesterday morning, 4:50, our 8-year-old popped into the room, ready to go. Hey, should I be in bed longer? Oh, no, that's fine.
Here's Mete, a long shot. Luukkonen save. Gadjevich with a chance. He rolled that wide. Back at the point is Mete. Across he goes for Timmins. Connor Timmins, a long wrist shot. Hit the traffic in front. Gadjevich plays that around to McLeod. Here's Mete. Plays it back down low. Batherson leaves it there for Gadjevich. Loose behind the finished goal. Gadjevich pivots back in the corner. Round for Batherson. And Batherson centers it. Just missed Gadjevich with that pass. And it's brought back by Vakanainen. Swept down by Kupari. Mentioned this is a big Finnish team, Ray. In fact, a couple of physically mature enough they might be considered for the Finnish Olympic team in Pyeongchang. That long shot deflected in front, taken by Jokiharju, and Hart knocked that away.
That's a great stop from Carter Hart. He hasn't had much to do.
Kokkinen tried to play that across. It was tipped away. And a good defensive play by Steele. Uolemi centers it, and Timmins knocks it down. Long lead pass just out of the reach of Kyrou streaking in. Luukkonen had to play it. That negates the icing.
Oh, Timmins looked up to the heavens. He knew he missed a clean breakaway pass.
Kokkinen drops it back. Tolvanen gets his pass back, shoots, and fired that high and wide. Now Tolvanen centers it. Knocked down by Dubé, who kicks it there neatly for Steele, and Canada's away, but they can't clear it out. Fabro tied up there by Tolvanen. Two Nashville picks going head-to-head there as Kyrou plays it back to center. Just what the Predators need, another defenseman. They drafted Dante Fabro in the first round.
And another speedy, skilled forward.
Yaska got bottled up there by Thomas. And now Thomas tried to sweep that back in front for Tkachuk. Centering pass, Thomas across to Tkachuk. He hammered that wide.
What a good look by Robert Thomas.
Now Bean goes back, and icing waved off. Bean lost the puck with centering pass, fired right on. And Hart kept it out. Carter Hart reached back and took that away from Joona Kuppinen, who thought for sure he'd scored.
Dante Favrogord and Hart combined to keep that thing out of the net. Unbelievable.
Bean drops it back, and a shot by Radish knocked up and out of play by Luukkonen. 4-2, Canada with the lead. That was close.
The official is looking at a review of this play. It's Cal Foote that's going to keep this out of the net. Look at him dive. It hits his shin pad. Foote sprawls out and with his left hand knocks this off the goal line. The Finns are celebrating from behind the net. They think it's in. The puck has to go all the way across. That is really close. They're still looking at it. The overhead is always the definitive view. And when you look at the overhead, the puck gets hidden behind the top of the crossbar. Remember the first review today on the Tkachuk goal seemed to go Canada's way. This I don't think crosses the line fully. But my goodness, what an effort by Cal Foote. The puck bounces off his shin pad and he's got to sprawl out to keep this from going into the Canadian net.
Being replayed on the scoreboard as well. So no goal is the call from Artur Kulev, the Russian referee. In the meantime, there's a penalty to the Finns, so a double whammy here as Nurmi goes off for interference.
The interference is right there at the top of your screen as Marcus Nurmi hooks Comtois going to the net. Gadjevich rather. So now Canada with a wonderful save by Cal Foote. Now goes to the power play and a chance to really drive a nail into this. Up 4-2 in a third period power play.
Levy fires it down the ice for the Finns. As Clegg picks up the loose puck. Cale Clegg for Taylor Radish. Drops it back for Steele. And Sam Steele got caught up in the traffic there as it's knocked away by Jaska. And Hart back to play it. Leaves it there for Clegg, the second round pick of the LA Kings in 2016. To Radish. And Kyrou comes steaming across the line, finds Steele. Sam Steele trying to center, gets it right back. Steele brings it around for Dubé. Dylan Dubé crisscrossing there with Steele. Rink wide, he goes to Kyrou, walks in, shoots, Luukkonen punches that away. Kyrou back on it. Takes the return pass from Dubé, walks right in, shoots, Luukkonen save, rebound, Steele couldn't corral it.
Wow, can Kyrou shoot the puck on the move here?
Clegg back to Kyrou. Back to Clegg with a hard shot. Luukkonen pad save, the rebound sent down the ice by Rassinen.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has had an outstanding third period for the Finns, or this game is over. Into the period down 4-2. It's only 4-2 because of his efforts here. This has been a sharp 12 minutes for him.
Canada shooting the Finns 11-5 in the period. Has 3 shots already on this power play. And now Tkachuk sends it down to the finish zone. Racing back is Jokiharju to pick it up. Brings it around. Bean holds the line for Canada. Plays it across to Tkachuk. Down to Thomas out there along with Batherson. Bean holds the line. Now the centering pass. Tkachuk in, shoots, and a glove save by Luukkonen.
And the period continues for Luukkonen. This is an excellent shot. Quick release by Joona Gadjevich. Owen Sound winger, who, as you mentioned, Gord, had 46 goals last year. Quick release. The Vancouver Canucks are pretty pumped about this kid. A second-round pick. He's different than some of their other forwards there that are smaller and more skilled that they have in their lineup. He's more of a power guy. Good hands in tight. It's a nice balance.
Now Thomas winds it down. Canada now out shooting Finns. The Finns in the game as Tkachuk comes in again. That shot was blocked. And now Nurmi steps back on the ice. 4 shots for Canada on that power play, and Kachuk looked skyward as he lifted that wide. Gonzalo. Toss to Vakanainen, works it and shoots. That goes wide, bounces off the end boards. And picked up by Thomas. To Batherson. And Comtois works in a long shoot it. Knocked away by Luukkonen. Comtois goes into the corner for the loose puck. Now Formanton digging for it, but Luukkonen has it back for the Finns. His pass picked off by Clegg. Shoots, Luukkonen makes the save with Comtois standing right there. So Cal Foote saves one on the goal line for Canada. And goaltender Carter Hart says, thank you very much. Hockey's Canada's game. You don't have to wear the Team Canada jersey to be part of this something great. Learn more about the pathway to Canadian minor hockey at hockeycanada.ca/pathway. Great way to spend Boxing Day watching the World Junior Hockey Championship. 3 games in this building today. Still to come, the U.S. and Denmark at 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight.
It is always cool to see the families that come to the games. They get tickets and groups to come to games because it's part of their Christmas, and happy to be part of it.
Valimaki with it. Woo! Up to Tolvanen, fires it down off the lively end boards here in Buffalo. That's something that goaltenders will have to be cognizant of, as Robin Leonard learned the hard way in his first year with the Sabres. Poked ahead by Kyrou. Now played back to Valimaki. Pass tipped away by Dubé, and Steele fires it right back down for Canada. Kuokkanen. Pops that back to the captain. Juuso Valimaki. But again, the Canadians bottle up the blue line. Now in the corner, drop back. Tolvanen shoots. He put that high on the feed from Heponiemi. Banked in by Heiskanen. And back goes Mete for it. Around for Timmins. Chips that there for Comtois. And Comtois plays off the sideboards. Howden knocks it down. And plays it across for Mete. 4.5 to go here in the third period. Canada with a 4-2 lead. And the play called offside at the finish line.
I've been really impressed, Gordon, this third period here with the way Dominic Ducharme has been able to roll out the lines, keep 9 to 10 forwards mostly engaged, use 6 defensemen. The Canadians have played much of this period up in the offensive half of the ice. They've defended 100 feet from their net. It's really been quite impressive for game 1 of this tournament.
Ikonen plays that ahead, the centering pass. Chopped up by Ikonen. Now another chance fired wide there by Jokiharju. Centering pass for Heponiemi. He couldn't get a shot away. Now Gadjevich knocks it free. Almost off to the races. But Ikonen came back on him, and the play is called at the finish line.
Oh, another 30 seconds runs off the clock, and Canada can get a fresh line on the ice. They wait to see who the Finns put on, and Ducharme's able, as the home team in the last change, to get the line on the ice that he wants.
Canada out shooting the Finns 14-5 here in the period. Canada's had the last 6 shots in this third period. Don't get the sense, Ray, this is the kind of Canadian lineup that will sit on leads.
I don't think you can sit on a lead anymore. If you're going to defend, you've got to defend going forward now. There's too many penalties that get called the other way.
Now the centering pass. Nurmi chopped that wide. Nurmi back in front. Competent couldn't find him. And Timmins poked the puck free. Connor Timmins. Lead pass for Radish, trying to find Thomas, and rolled away from him. Kachuk back on it. Boris Kachuk. Works it free behind the goal, played it back for Clegg, but that was ticked away by Vesalainen. Icing waved off as Clegg got back to it. Fabro. Lead pass for Thomas, chips that down in the finish zone, and back to pick it up as Uelevi. Kuokkanen had it knocked down by Steele. 3 to go here in the third period. Kuokkanen chips that down to the Canadian zone as Bean is back to pick it up. To Clegg. Cross to Bean. Dubé chips it in. Now a race for it. Is Cairo going to be behind the Finnish defense? And Cairo gets there first. Hanks it back down for steal. The puck goes over the glass and out of play.
You wonder how long Finland will get into this last 3 minutes rather, and whether they'll keep their goaltender in the net or if they'll go with an early pull. European teams are generally far more conservative than the NHL has become over the last few seasons.
There is Ahokas, who we mentioned took over on December the 30th last year, the sacking of the Finnish head coach in the middle of the tournament as they were 0-3.
What a bizarre circumstance that was, and then he coached them in the relegation series against Latvia.
They won both those games to avoid relegation. Now a penalty coming. Mete touches up. Formanton will go off for the trip with 2:21 to go in the third period. So now you'll have a face-off in the Canadian zone, a power play, and you wonder if they'll call Luukkonen to the bench now.
For myself, I don't want to take the goaltender out now because you allow the penalty killers to shoot the puck, as we see the tripping penalty, a careless stick position by Alex Formanton. But you allow the penalty killers, obviously, to clear the puck down the ice. If it goes in the empty net, the game's over. You've got a man advantage. I don't want to give them a freebie quite yet.
Rassinen for the face-off. And Luukkonen remains in the Finnish goal. It'll be McLeod to take the draw for Canada. McLeod wins it cleanly. Clay plays it around for Dubé, and Dubé fires it down the ice. Just the way they drew it up. That'll take a good 20 seconds off the clock. Heiskanen drops it back for Tolvanen. And Luukkonen comes across the line, fires that down to the Canadian zone. Luukkonen looking to the Finnish bench. Rassinen plays it back, the line held by Heiskanen. Here comes Luukkonen. Heiskanen. Extra skater comes on, the shot fired there by Tolvanen. Rebound, and Hart made a save on the first one. The second shot put wide by Vesalainen. Now Tolvanen can't hold the line. So 6 skaters on 4 for the Finns, down 4-2. Tolvanen works in on Timmins. Now Mete goes racing to it. Uelevi in deep now, trying to dig that freight. And Mete at a tough play in his backhands and just throws it back in the corner. Tolvanen feeds it back. Heiskanen winds and fires. It goes wide. Uelevi back to Kuokkanen. Cross for Heiskanen to Tolvanen. Tolvanen spins and shoots. Hart save. Rebound loose in front. And Gavin quickly fired down the ice by out. Bounces right through the crease. Heiskanen goes back with Compo watching him. And he spilled Heiskanen. Inside a minute to go here in the third period. 30 seconds to go in the Finnish power play. Vesalainen works in. Plays it around to Ikonen. Ikonen pass in behind Vesalainen. Välimäki plays it across, and the hard shot taken there by Jokiharju is blocked by Ganjevic. And the puck cleared out. Dubé with an empty net. He got tangled up, drops it back. Clegg shoots. That was blocked. As Välimäki got in the way, Ganjevic shoots and just misses wide. Final seconds now on the power play, and the puck stuck to the side of the net. Ganjevic in, trying to kick that back in front. 3 shots for the Finns on the power play. It remains 4-2 Canada. Välimäki works in, shoots. It's off a stick, up and out of play with 9.5 seconds remaining here in the third period.
Canada gets a great block from Jona Gadjevic, but they also get a couple of good stops from Carter Hart, including this one off the Tolvanen. Tolvanen pounds this one-timer. He gets the inside of the blocker on it, and then is just going to get a bit of luck as the puck is chipped wide by Vesalainen. Canada hangs on here, shorthanded for the 6th time.
And now the Finns call timeout with 9.5 seconds to go.
A shaky second period for Canada, but an outstanding third period. While they haven't scored, they've carried the play. They've played most of this period in the 100 feet away from their net. I've been really impressed with the way Canada's played here for most of this afternoon. And I guess evening now. We've been in here long enough.
It is 6:30 local time. So the face-off in the Canadian zone. And McLeod will step in for it. Finns are good though.
They're not going to go away in this tournament for sure. But for a difficult start for Canada, with not a lot of returnees, not a lot of high pedigree, an excellent start for them.
Face-off one back, Tolman and shoots. That's blocked by McLeod. And Canada will win its opener at the 2018 World Junior, taking down Finland by a score of 4-2. Final shots 32-31 in favor of Canada. So we'll stand by for the player of the game presentations and then the Canadian national anthem. Next stop for Canada tomorrow night against the Slovaks. The Finns will play there next against the Danes on Thursday. Finns, by the way, will close out the round robin against the United States here on New Year's Eve. Here to present the Player of the Game awards, among others, is Evander Kane, the gold medal winner for Canada, the 2009 World Junior in Ottawa, now playing for the Sabres.
One of the 3 last cuts of Canada that year.
Yes, Pat Quinn told 3 players.
Pat was too nice. Cut. He didn't really want any of them to not be the last
told Braden Shen, Nazem Kadri, and Kane they were the last cut.
Players of the game. Buffalo Sabre forward, Evander Kane.
Always a lightning rod. There's a lot of people from Toronto here, but Kane is having an outstanding year in Buffalo.
Vesalainen, the player of the game for the Finns. Mentioned the first-round pick of the Winnipeg Jets. Plays for Hämeenlinna in the Finnish Elite League, just 2 hours north of Helsinki. By the way, it was Kane who got the call back after Dana Terrell got hurt, so
and from Team
got a chance to play in that tournament.
Victor Mete.
And Victor Mete, defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens, is Team Canada's player of the game. Figures to play a key role and play a lot for Canada in this tournament.
That's a very good first game of the tournament. I know the Finns will be disappointed, of course, with the outcome, but those are 2 teams that we're going to see later on here.
Team Canada's victory today. Please rise and remove your hats to respect the playing of their national anthem.
2018 IIHF World Junior Hockey Championship from Buffalo, New York is brought to you by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 30 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey team. By RBC, when we invest in youth, great things happen. And by TELUS, powering the network that keeps us all connected.